Hey guys, so in this lecture I'm going to show you about gesture, or I'm going to present to you what gesture is, and this is a really important lesson, so I'm very excited to show you this. I love gesture and I want to do this right, so let's hope I get everything, let's hope I hit all the points I need to hit. What is gesture? Gesture is the natural rhythm within an object. Gesture is the seamless linking of one form to another as well. Linking, natural rhythm. And gesture is usually described by lines. So, that might seem obvious, but not everything is lines in design. There are dots, there are textures, there are colors, there are shapes. But really, gesture, when I think about it, it's about lines, first and foremost. Especially the approach that I give to it is certainly, it's line-based. Gesture is also the inherent energy in a line or a form. So lines, it's the idea that lines carry with them energy. There's an energy to be found within a line. And I think when you see good gesture examples, you can really feel the energy in the line, and it's very exhilarating, it's very exciting, it feels like it's alive. Gesture is often applied in drawing characters, animals and creatures. That's where it's most commonly thought of. However, gesture can also apply to anything really, including effects animation and structures. So a building can have gesture. A flame most definitely has gesture in it, so all kinds of effects animation as well. And yeah, when I think about also animation, and when you see animation with your onion skin on, it resembles gesture as well. A nice flowing series of frames, just like our particle swarm that we're going to be doing. I'm not sure where in the course you are right now. Haven't thought about where this is going in the course actually, but with the particle, that's an animation like this, and when you play that through, it will follow these sort of lines. But then if you see it, or if you see all of the frames, they're going to have gesture as well. So gesture is something that you can find by sort of reading between the frames in animation as well. So it's fascinating, and I really like it. And we're going to go through some demos, some examples, and some exercises for you to improve your gesture, and that's going to filter through into all of your animation, I think, and improve the quality and give it that energy that it needs. And also, at the same time, it will make it more effortless for you. You will find yourself exerting less effort in your animation, and actually you'll get into it and you'll really enjoy it once you start applying gesture. So what does it solve, gesture drawing and practicing gesture drawing? It solves stiff drawings. If you think your drawings are stiff, gesture is what you need to practice. It solves timid drawings as well. If you take a long time, timid and too long, that's kind of the same thing really. If you take ages to complete one drawing, if you think about it as an animator, that's not going to be very helpful to you. It's going to take you a long time to make a piece of frame by frame animation. So we want to speed that process up so that you can make more animation over your lifetime. And drawings which hurt your hand, I get asked a lot about carpal tunnel, about repetitive straining injuries. I have had them in the past. It's not fun to have. But if you draw with gesture, if you involve your whole body and your arm in the gesture, in drawing with gesture, it should reduce the amount of hand straining. If you look at me right now, I'm actually standing up. I've raised my desk to a standing level, and that's partly so I can get my whole body involved when we're doing these gesture drawings. I can use my whole arm. I literally put my shoulder into it sometimes, and when I'm coming round with a curve, I'll put my whole arm into it, and it becomes like a full body movement. And so it takes the stress off of your hand. You're not like trying to be so precise with it. What does it solve? Yeah, so animators need to make a lot of drawings. This is kind of what I already said. And those drawings work best when they have energy. it looks nice. It looks nice when a drawing has a consistent flow of energy from the head down to the toes. Therefore, gesture is an important aspect of hand-drawn animation. Gesture is strongly linked to confidence as well. So if you think, what is the secret ingredient that will allow a draftsman or an animator to draw with gesture? Really, it's about confidence. It's about, like, are you willing to let go of the outcome of a drawing to draw with good gesture? So part of that comes with, like, accepting that when you do gesture drawing, there are going to be some bad drawings. Like, you're not going to get it right all the time. You know, sometimes you'll make a drawing and the proportions won't be spot on and things like that. So you just got to be prepared for that and have the confidence to do it anyway. And so with gesture, that's an introduction to gesture. And now I want to talk about life drawing, and this is how we practice life drawing. This is you have to learn this through practice. So life drawing is drawing from life, not drawing other drawings. So your favorite artists, their artwork, you shouldn't be doing observational drawings of that, really. You can, but that belongs in a different category to life drawing. Life drawing is drawing from photographic reference or actual reference in the flesh. You know, you being in a room with an object or something, or just drawing something which is from a completely different medium. Like, you could draw a 3D render of something and you could try and sketch that 3D render. But really, when I think of life drawing, I think of drawing things that are in front of you. But photographic reference is fine. It's just that the benefit of drawing things that are actually right in front of you is that you're drawing something that's 3D and you're translating something that's 3D into something that's 2D. Whereas if you are drawing from photos, which I often do, I do draw from a lot of photos, and I'm going to be drawing from photos here in this. But when you draw from photos, you're translating something that's 2D into something that's 2D. So it can flatten out your images. You can, as a result, make flat images because of it. But anyway, I'm digressing there. Life drawing should be done as a regular exercise for animators. Just like how athletes, you know, an athlete, what advice would you give to an athlete to get better at their sport? Gym. Go to the gym and work out and train. This is like training. This, for animators, that is life drawing. Life drawing is to animators what the gym is to athletes. So the more you go, the better you'll get. The more you draw from life, the more observational drawings, the better you'll be at drawing from memory as well. Tips for adding more gesture to your drawings. So these are practical steps that you can take to add more life to your drawings. First of all, draw big. So the way you do that is one pose per page. That's what you're going to see me do in this. I'm not going to have lots and lots of drawings. I'm going to try and draw as big as I can. This tablet here, this is a 12WX Wacom Cintiq. It's not that good, you know, it's not that big of a screen. I should really have a bigger screen for gesture drawing, but I'm making do with what I've got set up here. The bigger the better though. You know, I've taken the timeline out of the way, so I'm not drawing here like this on this smaller canvas. I've got the timeline hidden away, which just adds a bit more space. Also, draw clothed poses. One objection that I have with a lot of the figure drawing websites that I see, and it's been a problem for me as well, finding the right kind of drawings for you is that a lot of them are naked, because traditionally that's what figure drawing is. It's drawing the naked human figure, or animal figure. I mean, clothes on animals, that's a different thing. But the thing is, most of the time when you make an animation, usually the character is going to be clothed in some way. They're not going to be naked. Usually you don't animate that many naked people, usually. So that becomes a problem when animators are used to training by drawing naked poses, and then they don't have any experience in drawing clothes, and so clothes is a really big problem for them. They find clothes difficult. So draw clothes poses. Try to find poses which have clothes on them so that you can get your practice that way. Draw fast. So with these websites that I've linked to you in the resources section, you can set a time limit, and I strongly advise that you do. And the time limit will really affect how you draw. So if you only have 30 seconds to draw something, it's going to be so fast. You're only going to be able to draw the very basic kind of drawing. Like, it could be just a few lines if it's only 30 seconds, whereas if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're going to have the opportunity to go into more details, do more measurements, and so on. So for gesture, though, for adding gesture, you want to draw fast. So I would set the time limit low. That's a clock. Fast. 1 minute is considered fast in life drawing. 2 minutes is considered medium fast. I would find 2 minutes to be fast. 5 minutes is slow. 10 minutes is very slow. Half an hour is extremely slow. But the more you do, the easier you'll find it. So in the beginning, drawing a pose in 30 seconds will feel impossible. It will feel impossibly fast. And so don't worry, in the beginning, you're gonna need a little bit more time, but the only way to do it is to actually train it. So anyway, as few lines as possible. So it's really good practice. I'm going to go into this, but it's really good practice to try and, you don't have to do this with all your drawings, but to try and go through the body. Let me just get some space here. Go through the drawing of the human body without taking your pen off the page. So just like, I don't know, what can we draw? I'm doing this from imagination, of course, but I'm trying to not take my pen off the page as much as I can. Terrible proportions, the head is massive, but as few lines as possible. That's just more of an exercise really that you can do to help you. No zooming in. Try to not zoom in, because if you're going to zoom in, that is a suggestion that you're looking at details and you're focusing on details, and you're trying to not focus on the details. You're trying to get the bigger picture. You're trying to just capture the essence of the pose without the detail. The detail can be implied, but you shouldn't necessarily define the detail too much. Yeah. And embrace the medium as well. So if you're drawing with graphite, it's going to look like graphite, and you shouldn't try to disguise it. If you're painting, use the paint. The paint has a certain look to it, and use that to its advantage. If you're drawing, if you're drawing so on, like if you're drawing with watercolor, if you're doing watercolor, the watercolor has a certain quality to it, and you should make the most of that. You shouldn't try to hide it. Inspiration. These are some people that I find very inspiring when it comes to gesture. Ryan Woodward, his drawings are phenomenal. He's one of the best in the game for gesture drawing right now. Glenn Keane, he's an animator, of course, probably the most famous animator in the world, and his drawings are just full of energy, and they're very graceful. They have great gesture to them, and if you see him draw, you'll see how fast he draws. He draws extremely fast and with so much confidence. The way he draws a line, he'll just, and he's got he'll do this. You see him work at his light box, and he's just, and he'll just like this, and it looks so easy when he does it because he's so confident. James Jean, he's an illustrator. He's just one of my favorite illustrators. I think he's not talked about enough. He's one of the best illustrators in the world right now. Steve Houston, this guy, I'm going to show you one or two of his. He is amazing. Oh yeah, okay, here's, this is Glenn Keane. This is from Beauty and the Beast. So if you want to see examples of good gesture, I recommend watching animation frames at this rough stage. So see if you can find, like on the resource I linked to you, Living Lines Library, most of them are pencil tests, so they're not rendered out by a team. Because what tends to happen is the animator, like here, Glenn Keane, amazing animator, one of the best of all time, he's drawn this amazing gesture using these single lines. Look how that's a single line to define that, and it links it on so nicely. He's just describing the form. Look at how he's using the clothes to describe the form here. It's fantastic. Look at the line weight. How he wants a defined chin, so he's really pressed down hard on the pencil there to define the nose and chin. And then here, in some of these other places, he's got softer lines, and you can feel that and you can see it all. I much prefer this kind of drawing, untampered with drawing. But then what happens is he sends that over to a different studio department in Disney, and they go and clean it up. They fill it with color, they add shading, and some of that energy is lost. So I recommend trying to find pieces of animation at this stage. Look, you see how this line here, he hasn't taken his pencil off the page, he's just gone like that. He hasn't gone like, a few little lines, wobbly lines here. He's just gone like that, and that's got energy in it. So they're just brimming with energy, and they all support this kind of movement of turning round like that. Brilliant. I'm very inspired by him. Oh, here's another one from Pocahontas. This, it got cleaned up in the end, and all of that lovely energy with these charcoals was lost. Look at this. Look at how there are hard lines. Like he'll press down here, and it will be nice and firm, and then he's got this really nice control over the weight of his graphite or whatever he's using. I think it's charcoal. And here as well, you see how that's a lovely gradient there. He started off very hard here and then gone whoom like that. And you can only really get a line like that by going at it with speed. You can't do that slowly. You can't do that. It just won't look as good. There's not the energy in that. He's gone off the back of the head there, and then he's gone whoom. This pen that I'm using right now, this setting, it's a kind of experimental setting. It's not designed to do that. I'm gonna keep on tinkering in TV Paint to try and get my brush to be able to do that with a nice gradient. But right now it's I haven't set it up properly for that. Not trying to blame my tools. I'm also not Glenn Keane. That's the other reason why I can't do it. So yeah. Just fantastic. Look at this. You see how he's just sort of selectively picked out shadow areas as well, just little areas of interest. Like here, he's just picked out. He's got the lips, but he hasn't got the rest of the face. That's just masterful. You can't expect to do that in the beginning, but yeah. This is Ryan Woodward. So he's who I said was one of the best figure drawers in the game right now. He's probably one of the best ever. And he's just defined his style. He's marked out such a great style where he uses these very long, thin bits of graphite and actually sort of pinches them like that and then makes streaks. And just look at the confidence in these and how he marks out areas of shadow. I mean, this is something really to aspire to. It's not. I'm not expecting myself or anyone to be able to draw like this. This is world-class gesture drawing. But just so that you have an idea of what I mean when I'm talking about gesture, this is gesture. What he's got here, this is gesture. You know, lots of body parts, but just described in one or two lines. You see how, like, if we go into this line, it just goes one like that, and then it changes direction, and it goes all the way down. And he puts that energy into it. He's got speed and energy and vigor in these lines. This is Steve Houston, one of the best painters alive today for sure, and he's done something really creative with this. He's basically, in his painting, he's captured movement. Let me just write that down. Captured movement and energy. Look at these little lines here that's kind of like he's gotten hit, and there's like these reverberation lines. That's really creative, the way he's done that. Let me just do that in a different color. So yeah, you can see them here, and he's just gone, and it's fast, you know. He might have spent a long time planning this painting, but then when it came to actually doing it, he probably did it pretty fast. He put in a load of time and effort planning it, maybe doing some preliminary sketches and things, but then when it came to it, he had to do these at speed. He had to. So that's done at speed. That is lovely. You see how that sort of indicates where the glove had been before. So the glove, you can see that it's in motion. You can see the glove's moved up. You know, very clear silhouette. These lines here, they kind of wrap around the form very nicely, so it feels like it's kind of got some 3D structure to it. It doesn't feel flat. These feel like they're really popping off the page, like it's yeah, you get what I mean. And yeah, I just love this. Fantastic. That's really inspiring, that one. He's done a whole series of boxes that are incredible, some of the most incredible paintings I've ever seen.